Yeah, so we're with Ron Covelli, and I met Ron when we were both on a task force.
Correct.
It was a joint city-county task force on homelessness.
Correct.
And the idea was that we were supposed to determine what was the role of government in the situation. I think people had the expectation that we were going to have 100 days to solve homelessness, but it was just 100 days to figure out what is the role of government in that. So I do want to say that I'm not sure exactly what time it is, but I do see the Channel 7 truck there. So at some point we have to go live to them.
Sure.
If that happens during our conversation, just stay right here with me.
Okay.
And I'll get interviewed, and then we'll continue our conversation.
Okay. Well, I wanted to stop by, Craig, and thank you for your patience. I missed the meeting yesterday at 5:30 that I was supposed to be here. But I want to stop by this morning and talk to you a little bit about what we did on the task force. And you're right, we weren't tasked with solving homelessness. We were tasked with where do we go with the help of the city and county, programs and things like that. So, and I think one of the things that we spent a lot of time together on the task force, along with a lot of other folks from different organizations, police force, county health, judicial system, different programs out there with the workforce side of things, and the shelter side of things from different aspects of shelter. So we really looked at, what can the county do and the city do to help the homelessness situation. And when we went through all of the data, and I applaud everybody for gathering that data and bringing it to the table so we can all really understand the situation and I don't know exactly what the numbers are today, but I think we talked around 400 homeless people in Marathon County and the city that really you don't see them all. You might see 50 or 60 a night or so, but really with people living, couch surfing with family and friends or doing whatever they're doing, we didn't really have a good grasp on the situation. So when we looked at it, when Tracy Durante came and spoke, she said that she's been helping a lot of people one-on-one and getting to know them and what kind of services they need. So at the county level, we took a look at what can we do to help support shelter, and then help support those wraparound services that people really need to get out of their situation that they're in. So recently we just took a look at reallocating a position on the county level to do the outreach for homelessness, similar to what Tracy does. So we just went through that just this past month and got that approved through the Health and Human Services Committee that I'm on. So that's the next step. The next following that is the budget. So we're working on the budget right now, and we're looking at how we can continue that position and that funding to be able to help, Bridge Street Mission and the homeless shelters, and partnering up with the city and keeping that going. So that's where we're at right now, and it's looking really good. We have a lot of support. And we were glad that you came forward with the RFP to be able to expand and be able to bring on and take on those services. So thank you.
Yeah. So I was going to really ask what was the outcome of that group? All right, and because that's something that I think people get frustrated sometimes. Well, we come together, we study, we talk, and then nothing comes out of it.
Correct.
But maybe you can clearly share what came out of that group.
Yeah, absolutely. So the outcome of that was we looked at different programs around the country, and we found that the lacrosse model worked pretty well. It's not a perfect system. So what we tasked our administrator with and the city staff with is developing our own program to be able to cover all of that stuff. So the outcome was the position change to help Tracy out. And then the other thing was the funding. So be able to fund the position and the sheltering side of things. So that was the outcome.
Okay, excellent. And my understanding was when we had that joint meeting where we made a report to the city council and the county supervisors together. Am I right in understanding that was really the first time that they had a group meeting where the city and the county actually met together?
That's the first time that they met together, and it was a really powerful session, and I think it opened up a lot of people's eyes to the situation. You know, we had the full task force up there, you know, answering questions. You did a great job, along with everybody else that was on the task force, on answering the city council's questions and the county board's questions. And it was a really good meeting, and I think really opened up people's eyes to the situation.
Okay, yeah, well, that was really encouraging. And then after that, there's a couple other things that happened with council and county together. I saw a bunch of both at the showing of the No Address documentary.
Yep.
And I understand also that when the Wausau Marathon County Shelter was operational, there was a day that a combination of city council and county supervisors went and were the volunteers at the shelter for a day.
Yeah, and the No Address, for the folks that saw that, it really highlighted around the country the situation of homelessness. It's compared to us and our 400 folks that we estimate, there's thousands and thousands of homeless people, not just in our state but across the country. And without services like yours and other folks, and food and pantries and things like that, and without the funding and the backing, people are just in that cycle of homelessness, and they might get out of it for a little while, and then they're back into it, and they're back out of it and into it until they get those wraparound services to figure out exactly why they're there. That movie really highlighted a lot of different aspects. I believe it was 5 different things, like mental health and drug abuse, and just the situation, like the gal that was in foster care that lost foster care because she aged out, those types of things. So it really opened up a lot of people's eyes.
Okay, and then the visit to the shelter to volunteer.
Yes.
How has that impacted your group as supervisors?
Yeah, so really, it was that face-to-face contact that you really got to meet people and show that, hey, you put a face to homelessness, right? And it really opened people's eyes up that, hey, the people really do struggle, and how can we support them?
Yeah. So one of the things that I know that folks in Wausau struggle with is that often people from outside of Wausau and other parts of Marathon County end up coming to Wausau for services. Now, it makes sense because they come in for entertainment, they come in for shopping, so why wouldn't you come in for those services as well? So it makes sense. It's what a city should expect.
Right.
But that's always been, I think, hard over the years for Wausau to realize, well, this is a county, well, it's actually a national issue. It's a world issue, but it's also a county issue. It's not just a Wausau issue. So how did that change of understanding evolve? For those maybe who are representing folks outside of Wausau.
Yeah, so what we found was, recently in the past couple of months, I've been to other states where I went into their shelter and talked to them about it too, and they run into the same situation where people outside the county or around the county surrounding areas come into Wausau and use the services, and really the percentage is fairly low from what I found. So it's, the perception was that, oh, we have all these people coming in and taxing our services, when really it's a really low percentage. So the issue of, I guess, people coming in, we have the services, so their communities might not have the services. Really what we want to do is transition them back into their home communities, with the help of some of our services possibly. So, we want to set them up for success as well. We talk about borders, right? And the city has a border and the county has a border, but really homelessness doesn't.
Yes.
So, we try to help as best we can.
So there's another task force, all right, in town that's called the Housing Task Force, not the same task force. And that one's more of an ongoing one that United Way hosts for us. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but they have 3 initiatives going forward. So first of all, some of their previous initiatives included Tracy's position, establishing that and getting that up and going, some advocacy, especially when it comes to affordable housing, the Community on Call initiative that kept people safe during the winter last year. These are things, among others, that came out of that task force. The task force now is focusing on 3 new things. One is strategic advocacy. One is really encouraging and connecting community navigators, caseworkers, so it's not just Tracy trying to do all the work. And now the county is going to have somebody in that kind of role as well, but more agencies are. At our new outreach center, part of our campaign was to add that position, so we're going to be adding that position. But the third one that I want to bring up is exactly what you were talking about, was helping people get back home.
Sure.
And so that's one of the major initiatives, and that's harder than it seems.
It is.
One of the people I talked to on the bench yesterday, had left Wisconsin, had left Wausau, but he said, you have to get back to Wausau, to Marathon County, because you're on probation. And so even though he had a setup in another state, he had to come back. Because of that and those services. So sometimes people have in their hometown the support they need to, but it's a little more complicated than just say, hey, go home.
Right. It is. It really is. I mean, that's where you need those services, those wraparound services, and somebody to help them manage that situation. So yeah, exactly.
So that is going to be an initiative, and so there's going to be some very sharp people working on that.
That's great.
And we're very excited to see that.
That is exciting.
At some point, we're going to be able to celebrate a lot of people that struggled with homelessness here in Wausau, but we're able to connect back to the people who know them and love them best, where they can get their best services.
Exactly.
And so we're excited about that.
That is exciting.
More to come.
Awesome.
as that kind of.
I knew about the other initiatives, but this one I did not know.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
Yeah, that is one of them. So.
That is.
All right. So I guess we didn't really, at the beginning, let people know what your role is.
Oh, sure. So I'm Ron Covelli. I'm the supervisor for Marathon County for District 33 in the town of Stettin and Marathon City. So I'm just outside the city limits, but I'm on the Health and Human Services Committee as well for Marathon County. And I was the co-chair of the Homelessness Task Force that Craig and I were on together.
Okay. All right. If there was anything else that you wanted to say in regards to the unhoused situation in our county, what would you want people to know and understand?
I would just let them know that, keep an open mind. Everybody's situation is unique. And I think with getting to understand how they ended up in that situation and being able to find them a path forward, keep an open mind to that. We could all at some point in our lives be in that same situation. So.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you, Ron. So I see a gentleman from Channel 7 setting up, and I know they have a tighter schedule than we do.
Yes, absolutely. I thank you for squeezing me in this morning.
Not a problem.
So I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
And
what brings you out this early in the morning?
On my way to work.
Okay. All right. Good.
So.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ron.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Great.
Thank you.